Hey everybody, this is Tim with Op-Ed Daily. I've got a clip for you here. I want you guys to watch this because to me it proves that Alex Jones is a shill for the U.S. government. He has been bought and paid for by somebody. I don't know who. And this isn't, any factual evidence, but to me it's anecdotal evidence enough for me to, solidify the thought that I've always had that Alex Jones is a paid actor, a paid agitator of the people. He's doing his job very well. I'll talk about that after you watch the clip. Here's that clip.
And we're not going to back off, and we're not going to stop. We are here to expose what's happening. Alex Jones is exposed in our world. Nazi scum! Nazi scum! Nazi scum! Nazi scum! Nazi scum!
Okay, if you notice, the guy that was standing behind behind and beside Alex Jones barely nudges him with his elbow. But keep in mind that Alex has been standing there at this point. He had been standing there for around 6 minutes screaming into these guys' faces with that megaphone the whole time. And you couldn't hear those other guys. They were just basically standing there. And then finally they started yelling Nazi scum at Alex Jones. He didn't like that apparently. And one of them barely nudged him and Alex Jones just bull rushed this guy. It was totally overreaction to what happened because let's face it, this guy's been having his face screamed at by a megaphone for the last 6 minutes. And Alex Jones is like rubbing up against this guy. And he nudges him out of the way, gets bum rushed for it. Now, the part that solidifies in my mind the fact that Alex Jones is a paid plant by the U.S. government is what happened afterward. And I can't find the whole clip, but you can go on Alex's Facebook wall and you can see the live stream from his own camera's perspective, and it will show you what happens. The police made like a little hallway among the protesters so that they could rush Alex Jones out of there, okay? 20 or so cops, probably more than 20 cops, rushed in there and surrounded Alex Jones and pulled him out and walked him as if he was a governor or a politician or something. Literally, they were surrounding him with one guy having his shoulders on Alex Jones's back, running behind him, telling him where to go, and the cops were surrounding him. And Alex Jones ran all the way to his truck. He ran out of there because he's a coward. He started that. He was an agitator inside that protest. He was the agitator that he claims that Black Lives Matter people do all the time. Oh, they're just agitators. They're sent in there to rile people up. What do you think he just did? You just saw him. And the reaction of the cops tells me that they were paid and told to go in there and protect Alex Jones at all costs. That's why they surrounded him to make sure that nobody would hurt him so that they could get him out of there. How many journalists have you seen get arrested while reporting? And well-known journalists, mind you. How many of them have you seen get arrested while they're in, got a microphone and they're standing there reporting and they get arrested? Or get tear gas thrown at them. A lot of them, right? The cops don't treat journalists in that way. But they do treat important people like the CEO of a bank or a politician or anything like that. That means to me that Alex Jones is a paid shill and nothing more. And the fact that these were white people doing this to him makes it to me even more funny because Alex Jones says some very racially motivated things. He always complains about they're pushing for civil war in this country and they're stoking the racial fires. But at the same time, he turns around and makes everything that BLM does about race. even though within BLM there are all kinds of people. There are black people, there are white people, there are Hispanic people, there are all kinds of people within the organization of BLM. And I will say that not all BLM people are paid plants and agitators, and most people in BLM are not that way. Most people in BLM do not want violence. Most people in BLM are not going to go out and kill cops. But you've got Alex Jones paid by the government to go in and demonize these people so that even the conspiracy theorists don't like BLM and start making these crazy connections to BLM to demonize that movement so that they don't ever get anything done. While at the same time, Alex Jones racially motivates or racially stokes everything. Everything about what he says against BLM and for the police has racial undertones to it. Yet he claims that they are doing it. Sorry, Alex, you don't get to have it both ways. And I'm the one that made the comment on that video about you being a globalist elite. So I hope you read that at some point, and I hope you know that people out there are starting to catch on to the fact that you are the very same person that you claim to hate. I mean, if you just watch this guy, he's a nut job. And also, let's say he is paid. One other thing that he is probably paid to do by the government is to make, quote, conspiracy theorists look bad. Because if I say that the U.S. government is putting weapons in the hands of the people that they call ISIS, but when the U.S. government gives them the weapons, they call them rebels. And then, a month later, they turn out to be ISIS. If I say that, I get people calling me a conspiracy theorist all the time, saying, oh, you need to go watch Alex Jones, because they associate Alex Jones with conspiracy theory. So anytime you make up this, these connections to point out that, hey, there's ulterior motives here, people automatically think, oh, he's just like the nut job Alex Jones. So what Alex Jones's job is to do is to make anybody that's bringing these things to light look like an idiot. Because Alex Jones is an idiot. That guy has issues. He makes the truth movement look bad. So I hope you guys go to Alex Jones's website or videos and start putting the truth out there about the fact that he is a globalist shill. He is paid for by the U.S. government, and that video, in my opinion, proves it. This is Tim with Op-Ed Daily. Peace out.